tonight, Royce?
All right, welcome to the JRE podcast. We're here with Tom Siedle.
Where's the camera? Is that it right there?
Yeah,
I
think so.
You got the guy's eyes right above it.
Huh?
I was talking to Royce.
All right, so what the fuck is happening?
What are you pointing at?
The bottle. Is there something in there?
Welcome to TFT, everyone. Thank you if you've been holding on, waiting for us to go live. I think we're live now. We've been live for about 22 seconds. I'm Tom Siedle. Actually, I'm thinking about changing my name to Thomas Siedle.
Oh yeah,
Because I thought it'd be easier to remember.
I just
right?
committed Siedle.
I thought it'd be easier to remember. Well, so when I was in Europe, I was telling people my name was Thomas Siedle, but over there they actually say it right because their alphabet I's have the E sound. So as soon as they'd see my name on my badge, they'd be like, "Oh, Siedle." I'm like, "Well, no, I was thinking of changing when I get off."
Siedle works too because I love
Thomas Siedle maniac.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
Hashtag Thomas Siedle
Yeah,
maniacs.
if I ever have a fan club, they'd be the Thomas Siedle maniacs,
I love it.
right?
You guys get
Gotta think of the
started. I'm
future.
gonna put it out here in the social media.
All right.
Oh, why? Because we don't have any. Oh, thank God! All right, finish rolling that blunt. We don't have any viewers right now anyway.
Well, we can't edit this one out. We can't edit that one out there. I want to jump.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to jump right into this here. So you've been across the pond now. You've made films here, and you've seen your film internationally. Now, let me ask you this: what is it like to go somewhere and no one know who you are? Because people will tell you, "I love what you do, man," but to see other people you've never seen watch your project.
I gotta tell you, it was a real breath of fresh air to go somewhere and no one know who I am, because that's what I used to do in the Navy. We go to all these different places. What was great this time was to go, and instead of trying to stay hidden and keep them to myself and trying not to make an impression, now I just went and just was my goofy, flamboyant self. And I made friends, I met new people. And so there's a big contrast between, say, working for, I bet business is probably lonely too, but especially the military, it's a lonely job. You're always to yourself and stuff like that. So the last few times I was overseas was in the military. So I had that to compare it to. So.
I mean, there's always this rumor, which I believe to be actually true now, is that just how international stars who come from overseas to us and make money. If we go over there, like you say, we're bigger just because we're not from there. For some reason, this is American artist.
If you can get their accent right, yeah.
Well, I'm going to feel
that.
that.
Absolutely.
So just a quick refresher, if you didn't watch the interview that played just before we went live with Tom, there is an interview. It's labeled TTFT Talks Homicidal 1, and we get into he won the 48-hour film festival last year. The film Threshold that he directed went to LA and performed against every other winner at the 48-hour film festival film project. I apologize, at Filmapalooza, where it won against all the winners. It stood out and then went to go to Cannes. We talked to Tom right before he went, fresh off the Filmapalooza win on that previous interview, and now
I wore the exact same thing as that interview, so it looks like it's filmed on the same day.
So we fucked it up.
A lot has happened in between those two times, because I remember I just finished editing that first interview.
I didn't win shit. Justin Mann and with his cinematography, Jaron Wallace with his acting, of course, Brooks and Hayes Meredith, they won that film, and I really appreciate them for doing that. They did a phenomenal job, and they made me feel really good, made me feel real competent.
Do you honestly feel that way? I know you know credit goes where credit is due, but do you honestly feel like you had no part in it?
I honestly believe if I set out to make a film right now with my iPhone, it would fail miserably, because I don't think I'm nearly as creative as the artists that do these films really are. I'm just good at organizing, and I'm good at in the moment. I'm not even that good at pre-production or getting organized before the film. I'm just good at organizing in the moment.
I think what you have one hell of a writer, because at the end
that was Justin Mann again. That was
Port City.
Oh, Port City.
That's what I wanted, because at the end of our last interview, when at the end of it we asked, "What do you got coming up next?" The fucking cursed question that every filmmaker has to answer when they do something good. Like, God damn, I just gave you this. Can you just enjoy this? We asked you that, and you talked about you had just finished the script for Port City, and like 2 or 3 days ago, I saw you posted that you had the Port City won an award for best screenplay. So, congratulations, first of all, on that.
Big shout out to Spotlight International Film Festival. Every year in the in the peak of summer, they have a film festival right here in Jacksonville, Florida. And it's wonderful. A lot of great people go there. It's a small festival right now, so you really get to meet almost everyone that's in attendance and really make some good connections. Jessica Roscoe runs the organization, and their judges, Chip. I want to say Douglas, but I know that's not right.
Douglas, I feel like that's Cable Guy.
Yeah, it's Cable Guy.
What does
That's
that
not
mean
Cable
for,
Guy. It's My Three Sons.
And
Chip
Cable
Douglas,
Guy.
yeah,
Chip
yeah,
Douglas is
Cable Guy.
Yeah. But anyways, there's so many people that think there is a wonderful experience. I really thank them for inviting us. And
I'm sure that's going to.
General Walls, of course, was co-writer on that. Also, Ryan McVeigh
and he's
came
the
up
one
with the
that's
story
the MMA
idea,
fighter, right? Or the one that's the actual fighter.
Well, he was a Marine and a firefighter, and
he fought fires, not people.
Right.
Okay. That's even more
and as a way to
badass.
blow off steam, while he was going through some troubles when he got back, is he got into boxing and stuff like that, and learned it's a really good coping mechanism. So fighting in the film port city really has a central role in it, and
Like
it's
a
the
Mickey
fighting.
Rourke,
Yeah.
Like a Mickey Rourke thing. You mentioned something earlier as far as. Oh no! I'm not saying Mickey Rourke. But I was going to say
same thing.
Oh yeah, really it is. Earlier you mentioned.
Just don't throw that word around, Mickey Rourke.
Earlier you mentioned that again. You were saying that you want to give credit to the other people who were a part of the film, and all great directors should do that because again, it's not about what you do; it's about what they do. But again, I don't want you to be as selfless to not mention this one thing because I think me and you talked about this before. You have the unique experience of being someone, of course, who is what acting looks like because you're such a talented actor that when you're behind the screen, you already know what it is how it should look. So let me ask you this: how do you toe the line between letting an actor do what they're going to do and then saying, you know what, I really know how this should be. I need to say something here. How do you handle that?
Usually the clock handles that for us.
So you do anything on the set, Thomas?
Yeah. Wow.
What would you say you do there?
I build dams. It's guiding rivers, man. It's guiding rivers of creativity, and it's just guiding them toward the right things. I'm a facilitator.
What
but
would
yeah,
make you step in,
so
though?
so it's really the strictness to the script, of course, is up to the writer and the director. But for like 48, we had an overarching idea, and I think we all were just trying to hold the bow steady to shoot the arrow like toward that target. What I like to is it's really up to the comfortability of the actor too. Yes. If they have a bunch of different ways they want to try it, that's fine. Then we run through those, and then at the end of that kind of loop, I can put in a straight up line read. I'm a line reading director. People hate it. Yeah, I know. I either put it at the end of a take line up to make sure I got something I can use is still within my vision, or I put it, especially with a timid actor. I'll do it right at the beginning of a take lineup. And it's like, just let's we're going through rehearsal. Let's just try it one time. Say it like this, and I'll just say it. Yeah. And a lot of time I get a look like, just give me a line reading. Like, yeah, for the first take. And so we get that, and then I'm like, hey, that's great. We're ready to move on. You want to do another one? And if they're timid and fucking, oh no, if you want to go ahead and do another one, it's like, then you kind of, well, hold on. What if we try to break into that creative zone and help them find,
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Thomas, because the fact, I'm not saying directors can't do that, but if you're just a writer who's a director, like directors are either former writers, producers, actors, there's something. So my point is this: if you're not an actor, if you're not a director who has been an actor, and you see an actor not doing what you need them to do, doesn't mean you know how to make them emote that emotion, but an actor would. And that's to his point. Like, are they timid? Because if they're timid, that means they're shy. Let me get their line out of the way with everybody out of the room. Let's do a closed set.
Right. So, and one of the favorite times, like ever as a director, is like with working with Jaren. It's, do you have any ways you want to do it? And he's like, how much time do we have? I got 37 ways I want to try it. And it's like, okay, well, what are the ones that are just truly desperate? And I was like, I got like 8 of those. Like, let's see those 8. Yeah, and he just does it, goes back to his one, does it again, goes back to his one, does it again. A lot of times he just do it on one take. Piss off the editor.
I have a selfish question because you acted in I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday, of course, and so I directed you for a feature film, and I'm curious if there is anything throughout that process where I did something or was doing something a certain way where you looked at it and was like, okay, that I'm gonna do that different. Like, was there any lessons learned through my mistakes?
Damn, you've been waiting to let this up.
He's taking a deep breath.
I don't know, man.
There's
Got
so many examples. Let me.
You hired. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't. Yeah, that's.
I remember you asking
Give me the. Give
what
me
your
the,
motivation was a lot of the times, and I felt like I rarely had an answer that satisfied you.
Well, I was just saying that because that's what people say on TV. What's my motivation? I didn't know what the fuck I was doing on Kill.
I had only thought about it after the fact.
My approach to Kill was read the script as many times as I possibly could before we rolled up. And I think it was like 2 days beforehand, 3 days before we started shooting.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. My gut was all in knots, and I was all angry and throwing shit and just losing my shit, generally speaking.
You never showed it. I'll tell you that.
And I was in my buddy's pool, and he came out. I was like, "Do me a favor, I really need you." He's like, "I got shit to do." I was like, "Just look at this script, open it to a page, and start reading out loud." And they did that, and he got like 12 words into it. I was freaking out. My mind even went more haywire. I was like, "I don't know the script at all. Holy shit, I'm fucked." And then it clicked, and I continued what he was saying. He was, "Okay," I said, "Do it again." And he did it again. It was 5 words. He did it again. It was 3 words. I was like, "Oh, I know the script."
Yeah.
And then, so that was my big memory of
Just
I want to say this before you move on real quick.
I tell you what, I think you taught me you absolutely need an assistant director to schedule everything for you. I mean, or producer to schedule everything for you, and an assistant director to wrangle everyone for you.
Yeah.
Because if you're worried about getting people there on set on time, right, as a director, and you're worried about wrangling people who get there on their times on set, and then running the set that you're supposed to be running while they're asking you all these fucking questions, really is a time eater. So those 2 people can really help organize that set better.
Yeah, like I should have been able to sit with you at the dining room table without having 4 different people come in. Well, so-and-so's going to be here. I'm like, okay, well, tell them that 2 o'clock is fine. What are we doing for lunch?
Could have gave me that handy J I needed after that scene with Tracy Newman.
I did promise you
right?
that. Yeah, so I still feel bad about that.
No, Tracy's a strict professional. She did a very good job. I hope I did too.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking,
that was great.
Speaking of what you were saying earlier, I didn't before we jumped off of that. You were talking about being nervous, and again, I'll admit it. When I was, of course, much younger, I used to get nervous, and sometimes still, because I will still get butterflies no matter how many times you've done it, because it still shows that you care. But I'll say this: has this ever happened to you? I've been nervous and worried about the script, and I get to set, and we're like, "Damn, I only know so much, and I know we're gonna do it scene by scene." But then I realize, "Oh shit." I mean, I know it all, but I know way more than the rest of the fucking cast knows. So now I'm overconfident now because I know these motherfuckers like, so what are we doing now? What do you mean, bitch? I've been up all night.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
There's a shortage in the United States of people who just do a modicum of work, just a small amount of preparation. You know, my father always said, because I'm always anxious about if I'm good enough or if I'm putting enough work in, or if it and you know, they say it comes from your father or something not loving you enough, but I don't even think that's not right. That's not where mine comes from. It's deeper. Maybe my last life's father or whatever. And because he always used to say, "Son, consider your competition. You've done enough. Just trust yourself. Just relax."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like doing the work beforehand, reading a script as much as you can, really, really having that fear that drives you to work. That's a gift, man. We curse it. It's a gift. And because even when you're lazy, you do the little bit of work that's better than your competition, man. And that's, I mean, and if we're looking at life, generally speaking, that's what we hate to say it's true, although cooperation is a more successful way of survival. That's why we live like this. Competition is still in our blood, and you know, the fastest lion gets the little rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
You ever get that way?
But a
as
lion,
a writer, or
but a
something
pride.
like
As a writer
or as a director, you ever feel the? Because I know as actors, I know me and Tommy feel it all the time, but I don't know how you feel as a
This
director.
motherfucker was snorting Xanax.
Oh, here we go. Oh, we got some subscribers. Oh, there we go. We got one person as soon as he said that.
This motherfucker on Kill was snorting Xanax. And I told him, it was like, it probably worked better if you took the pill, man.
I
wouldn't know
too.
Do that.
I did that before snorting.
It ain't working. It ain't working. This motherfucker.
Let us know in the comments if you.
I I feel the sense. I don't want to feel the sense of competition because ultimately it's so stupid when it comes to art because it's just such a subjective thing. I mean, what's really better or worse when you're talking about art? Even though we just fucking literally just shot an award show where we judged films by different merits, but it's so weird when it comes to art to judge.
Congratulations
stuff like that.
to the winner of the Jarto Man Award. What is it? Titanium.
We can't say
No,
that.
no.
No, that hasn't happened.
This is live. Nothing. One guy.
One person figured out watch it be Jared. I knew it.
No, I think
Was it Jay's then?
Huh?
Was it Jay's then? Roadrunner.
Which one?
It was nothing. This is live.
I know. I'm trying to figure out who won. Y'all know.
It really
Y'all
is
won't tell
nothing
me.
because no one knows what the awards mean yet. So it really is.
I want to know.
We're gonna tell you once the camera
Yeah,
goes
so-
off.
I feel.
So,
I,
how about
as I get older, I feel a sense of urgency to like, especially when I see when I've I've been at this for 20 years, and then for instance, see somebody like Franklin Rich. I'm not knocking him at all. I love the fact that he has found success.
Artifice Girl.
But there is a part of me, the very human, very evil part in the very deep down shadows of me that's like, not like I want Franklin Rich to fail. No, fuck that. I want him to succeed. I love that he's succeeding. But there's that part of me that's like, why not you? Why not you? What the fuck have you done wrong?
And
that's a
What
healthy-
do you need to do
healthy.
better?
That's awesome.
That's a healthy feeling.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that-
well, it
so-
doesn't feel healthy. Feels
If he
pretty
doesn't
unhealthy.
get where he gets at, it doesn't relight the fire in you. So by proxy, you need that.
Here, let me give you a Navy
Yeah.
analogy.
Iron
Okay.
sharpens iron. I just hope I'm not rubber.
Trying to forge the oceans is a fine example of man's balancing competition and unity. All right. Together, we must keep this ship afloat against nature itself. And
Is that a poem?
that is the human condition. We need to keep each other alive against nature. Nature has been oppressing us for 150,000 years, 300,000 years. Actually, what we're learning now,
It's an interesting
probably more like a million
Well, that's why
years.
Thanos did the snap.
Yeah, probably
It's
more like
It's
a
like the
million years.
opposite of 12 months.
And but out there, outside the ship, is competition. If there's a faster ship than you, destroy that fucking ship.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
If there's a ship that gets to an island before you and takes all the palm trees, destroy that fucking
If there's a
ship.
race to the
Kill
moon,
those men.
if there's a
Yeah,
race to the
yeah,
moon,
exactly.
film it and fake it.
It's a matter of
Yeah.
trust. It's like if I can't trust you to not turn on me, so
Right.
you can destroy me, I need to get you first.
Yeah, and what I love about the film industry is instead of going out and destroying Franklin's ship, which there's people in the industry that do that now today
Sweet.
because that's leftover bullshit. But what I like to do is talk shit, and that's how we throw our cannons at each other.
Yeah.
I can talk shit. I just work with Franklin on a job under Will Bishop, speaking about the old Kill Crew,
Mhm.
and man, he's just high energy. He just loves acting. He loves doing anything with film,
Yeah.
and that's how we support each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love each other. We work with each other.
Those feelings suck, though. I wish you could just extract them out of yourself because I personally, you say that it makes you better, it fuels you, but I don't feel like it fuels me. I would much rather, back in 2007, Myra Street, before the internet fucking existed, I knew what every other fucking filmmaker was doing and what awards they were winning. I was just sitting in my little studio apartment writing what I thought was funny, what entertained me, and going out and shooting it with nothing to compare it to. And I guess that's naivety. If you don't know what else is out there, you think your shit doesn't stink. But
Yeah, and you think that's what I do is I isolate myself also from television shows and movies because I think that taints my creative ability. But because I'm not very creative. But the fact of the matter is you really need to be striving from an early age to read books, gain craft on knowledge. Because once again, you're in the film industry, you're dancing this balancing act between artistic expression and craft, like the craft. And that's why thanks so much for the Tom Siedle Award.
yeah,
The Tom Siedle
We just didn't
Award.
give it to you. Earned it,
The
man.
Tom Siedle Award is the award of craftsmanship and perfection
And
of
technical
the
savvy,
craft,
yes.
because the craft can be perfected.
Yeah.
Just like cooking a steak, there's a perfect way to cook a steak.
And you own that,
Yeah,
right? You know
And-
that.
No, I'm
you,
terrible at it. Like there's much better people at it than me, like Charlie Harrell and John Whitford. They look down at me like a schmuck.
Well, that's
I'm an
funny. Well,
idiot.
then
I'm always trying to learn from them, and they're like, God, this Tom guy, he's bothering me like Royce does.
I just always you're just always
We love you, Royce.
looking at everything and how it can be better and how something could be improved on. And for someone like me, I'm just like, all right, well, we got a light over here, a light right there. And you're like, well, what if we move this one over here, we're not gonna get that glare? And I'm like, well, fuck the glare. I don't give a shit about the glare, but you give a shit about the glare. That's why I say And it's so hard to care about those little details when you're on a film set for 12 hours and you love it, but you also just want to be done with it today.
Mm.
And so
I tell you what, the more experienced I get to, and the more I learn from like people I really look up to, is I kind of worry about stuff a lot that shouldn't be worried about. Like it doesn't matter. A little glare on the glasses. The audiences really don't see these things. We do.
Only film, yeah. I was gonna say. He tells me that sometimes. He's like, man, why does it matter? They might look
notice
down at their phone, so it doesn't matter. Like you keep
I
pushing.
think it's a balance. Like
Yeah.
you gotta
it's a
have
balance,
somebody
yeah.
like you, somebody like me, and then somewhere in the middle you get out of there on time and it looks
Let me
So
ask you-
Jaron is very laissez-faire.
That's a
But
French term from easygoing.
But he's very hard on the frame. You know, like what's in the frame. The frame might be all Jackie, but his what's in the frame, like little things that nobody really thinks. He's really
Can I
good
ask you
at
a
that.
question
Kevin Cloud's really good.
real quick? I don't know if we covered this as a two-parter here. If you don't mind
Molly
answering.
Connie's really good.
Number
at that.
one, yes or no? Have you ever done anything stage or Broadway wise? Yes or no?
Yeah. In the high school, I loved stage acting. I did Sonny Lattieri in Greece when I was in high school, and that kind of got me moving I wanted to act again, so I tried out for My Fair Lady, and I played the old drunk dad. What's his name?
In Chad's movie?
No, in My Fair Lady, the stage production.
I've never seen My Fair Lady.
What?
I've never seen Casablanca.
Or Goodfellas.
I've never seen Casablanca.
Oh, good. All right.
Folks, go out and watch Casablanca right now. You should see it.
Or don't let it or don't. Okay, we're about 21 minutes into this, and we haven't even got into cans.
Sound
How
mode is turned on.
Oh, we got two people now. We can get in the cans now. We got two people, guys.
Yeah.
Tell us who you are in the comments. We love you.
How candid do you want to get about this on a scale of 1 to 10?
Look at this guy.
Oh no, I'm fine. Yeah. Can was a wonderful experience. It's
So 3.
yeah.
Let's start with what everybody wants to know. Do you get flown out? Is it everything all expense paid, or do you have
Oh
to pay for
hell
some-
no!
Okay,
man.
here
It's
we
an
go.
industry convention. You gotta do what you gotta do. And the 48-hour film festivals does a wonderful job. So what they do is kind of a incentive to try to do well in the film festival. 8 films, of course, have accreditation at Cannes, and their films will screen in a screening theater in the Palais. And it's awesome. They pay for all that, which is very expensive. Each
I don't
film.
know
So
what a
now,
Palais is.
oh, I'm sorry. So the Palais is the building that the Lumiere sits in,
Okay.
the main theater. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or next to the building. I don't know. One of those two things. And no, it's next to the building that the Lumiere sits in.
Okay.
Anyway, it's all very close. Anyway.
He still doesn't know.
Yeah, I was there for 7 days. I still don't know.
No, I'm talking about him.
There's
He
so
doesn't.
much information happening so fast. It's a learning experience. I would talk to one screenwriter. She was very kind to impart some wisdom on me. She says, I've been coming to camp for 10 years, and it's just now I'm starting to
Understand how to flow
understand everything,
within
and
it.
everyone knows me, and everyone trusts me to do work, so that we actually talk about work. So it seems like seems like any other festival. It's like LOL. LOL's been going now for almost 10 years, and it's getting to be a pretty serious festival. It can be counted among at least like Slam Dance or Slam
Only people
Film
would take the
Slam or
rules
whatever it
serious,
is down in
don't they?
Orlando.
Yeah.
You know,
Those
it's
kids.
so everything is worth doing.
We
It
said
takes
that.
time and effort, right? So
We definitely said that. Me and David were talking about
What
how
do
the
you
films
think-
have gotten better.
I was curious if you.
So big shout out to Mark Rupert and his team for the 48-hour film festival. That was a great experience. We met with all the other 48ers that wanted to go or could go. We really connected with them. Met some great teams. I got a new brother in Warsaw now. It's just really awesome people. And of course they pay to have all hour and a half's worth of films screened in a Palais in the short film corner, and that's expensive shit, man.
Yeah, that is a pretty incredible opportunity just on the surface of it. That's every filmmaker's dream to be able to say that their film screened at Cannes or Sundance or one of the big.
Well, no,
boys.
what the 48 does, and it's really a teaching moment, and this is what I love about the 48-hour film project. You know, you choose your level of involvement, and they'll take you to a certain place, right?
Mhm.
And what they did is they submitted your films to the short film corner, and they were all approved. And so we, as filmmakers, all got invited to Cannes, all got accreditation to go to Cannes Film Festival. And he actually kicked in the extra money. So when you submit to the short film corner at Cannes, you and it's only $50 to submit. I think it was maybe even lower for the short film corner. When you get accepted, you get invited to Cannes, i.e., you can apply for an accreditation, right? So you apply for the accreditation, you pay €399 for your accreditation, and you go to Cannes Film Festival as any other filmmaker goes to Cannes Film Festival, and you're treated as equals. Which is phenomenal to me. I thought I would be kind of off in my own little world. No, I had free run of the place.
Short special bus over here.
Yeah, no, I almost wish they had a guy with a gun escorting me around, keeping me from doing dumb shit, because I did a lot of dumb shit.
What's
you
the
know?
dumbest thing you did? While you were
Oh
there?
my God, I stayed out all night one night because I just wanted to see Cannes. And it's like the real reason was I didn't have a place to stay.
But did you have a partner in crime with you, or were you by yourself?
No, all by myself. I got some great shots. I just saw some amazing things with everything just shut down and quiet.
Let me ask you this: now that you've done Cannes, do you feel like?
Oh, let me finish. So let me finish my story.
Please.
So now, once you've been invited to Cannes, once I believe you can still apply for your accreditation every year. And you can still go.
That's what I was going to say. If it benefits you being an alumni.
But really, guys, this is open to everyone at any time. Any of you filmmakers out there can submit a film to the Short Film Corner for Cannes Film Festival, and it's the industry convention. I don't know if you're in the film industry and you don't know this. A film festival is an industry convention for filmmakers. This is the reason filmmakers get together and talk about their next projects, how to fund them, how to get them going, where I can get a camera. These are just excuses to get together. All right. So different. Anyway. Yeah. So the Marquee du Film is the Short Film Corner is the industry convention at Cannes. It's really kind of there's a glitz and a glam because there's a lot of high dollar stuff going on. And then there's kind of the Short Film Corner where the business is happening. Mm-hmm. So at any time you can submit a film to the Short Film Corner for $50. You can get in, you can pay your €300 accreditation, and you can be invited to Cannes also. And your accreditation is good for life.
Does the film
and try to go sell a film, get your film funded, go talk to industry professionals and actually do something fun and cool.
Did it play once or was it
just
like
played
on
once,
a
right.
Okay. How many
So there's several, there's like A through J number of theaters, A through K maybe, number of theaters in the Palais. And this is where people who are in the Short Film Corner show their films to interested investors to try to make a deal. Mm. All right. So now what the 48-hour festival does, which is pretty cool. He just rents out the theater for an hour and a half block, which is very expensive.
I'm sure. I
think it's €100 for a 10-minute block or something like that. So it's very expensive. So he's what we did instead is we went and watched all the winning 48s, and we kind of went out as a crew. We had a good time, and we celebrated the film.
What do you think you guys held up against all the other first 48s? And just be honest.
Well, my favorite moment on all that, we're in this tiny little theater, and the Japanese team is sitting right next to me, and of course I'm between Adam and this other fella that resembles Adam but Japanese. And
I made it too.
And I look over my threshold is playing, and he's crying, like he's tears rolling down his cheeks. He keeps moving, and I look over, and he's wiping tears from his eyes. Let me tell you, it makes you feel really, really good. We're him, like literally across the planet through the core.
Yeah.
Sees his mother when he looks at Roxanne Hayes.
That's what it's fucking about, man. I'm sorry.
That's amazing.
That's why I do it, man.
Doesn't even speak the language. They spoke no English.
Crossing cultures, crossing language, crossing oceans.
Amazing.
Yes.
But no, there's great films. It's just great to be included in that. It's really amazing.
So expectations versus reality, like no denying that it's an amazing experience. But like I would imagine I'm going over there, going to Cannes. I would probably build it up in a way that's unattainable. There's like any example of like one thing that you wished it was going to be and what it turned out to be? Is there any example of that you could think of?
Well, I'm a pretty smart guy. So kind of when I see how things work, I'm usually humble enough to say it works like that because they're a lot smarter than me and they've been doing this for a long time. I just wish I knew more about the inner working of Cannes before I went. And everyone says that. It's the film industry generally, I think. That bit of mystique is where the value is, mm-hmm. Right? So like all the glitz and glamour and all the red carpet and all the celebrities walking by, all that's fake. It's not like it's not fake. It's real, but I mean, don't tell the roofs. Yeah, well, this won't be published. They'll kill me if I let their secrets out.
Say it.
They'll kill me if they're let.
I'll say it again.
It's all fake, man.
whole
All the
thing.
fucking costume jewelry's fake.
Half the celebrities are just their clones.
Well, but this is what I think David's leading to the
This
question
is
I was going to
AI
ask you,
projections.
Right.
which was now that you've experienced it, do you feel like you have to do it again? Because I never hear people say,
Oh,
"It's
no,
my
I'm
film got to sit in the cans again."
That's a good
Like,
question.
I don't,
you have the book.
Oh, absolutely. And next year, I'm definitely going to Cannes again, whether I go as a
You
patron.
did, and you almost. I felt like you weren't ever going to come home.
Well, so the best part about my trip to Cannes is I had an excuse to fly over the ocean and see my niece and nephew, who I haven't seen in 15 years.
Oh, that's cool.
Along with my
Cool.
sister. She's actually my sister-in-law and brother to my brother, or wife to my brother, now buried in the National Cemetery. And it was just great seeing them. Bonded with my niece over a trip to Berlin for 4 days. Bonded with my nephew in the garage of his little motorcycle shop that he's built up in one of the side outbuildings of my sister's house. And of course, she could spit nails about it, man. She hates it. She hates that he's doing that. She hates that he's learning how to, and it's just a beautiful family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And they just love each other, and they've built a beautiful life there. And
Have they seen any of your work at all?
I think I showed my niece Threshold. No, they don't watch my shit.
Oh.
You ever notice that? That's what I love about
We know.
filmmaking.
My family doesn't either.
No, that's what I actually love about being a filmmaker, because like your friends and family, they don't watch your shit.
I don't know. They want to come to the awards. They want the money. They
For
don't
some
want
reason, it took me 20 years to stop expecting them to.
Yeah, I wonder if
Or
Chris
to stop
Nolan's
holding them hostage.
Hell
and
no.
making-
right. Chris
Mom.
Nolan, I'd love to know, would your mom, if she's alive, amazing, awesome, if she's not, God rest her, would your mom watch Oppenheimer?
Here's my
Like,
impersonation.
he's like, Mom, I just made a movie. Would you watch it? He's like, I'm busy.
This is my impersonation of what's his name? Why the fuck did I forget his name already? His mom. Fuck's his
Christopher
name?
Nolan?
Christopher
Nolan.
Nolan. Yeah. This
You
is
okay
my
with that,
impression of his mom. He calls her up. I say, did you see Oppenheimer? Oh, I really like that Forrest Gump, that Steven Spielberg fella. He makes the great films. Like, I'm sure she's got her filmmaker
That's true.
Hey, Mom, I made a movie. Let me know how it goes.
Why don't you make movies more like that Steven Spielberg guy?
Yeah.
I think we're the fools.
Why does there always have to be sex?
Yeah.
I think
It's
we're
the
the
first time I did a sex scene.
I think we're the fools for expecting our friends and family to come, because I don't know if we thought about this when we were younger. The reason why we were doing this shit in the first place, we're playing make-believe because the shit wasn't how we wanted it in the first place. So it wasn't like the family was there supporting us. We had to come up with our own games. We eventually
I'm
made
guilty
movies.
of that too. Like my own, you have to be extremely remarkable to make a mark on me if I know you personally. Like something you've done, it has to be extraordinary for me to forget that you're just this dude that I know.
Isn't that
Well,
kind of a
thank you, man.
self-defeating sort of, or is it just experience? It's sort of self-defeating. It's like, if I know you, I know you're not like great. You're hanging out with me. You're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it is. It's,
you're not
it
worth a
says a
shit.
lot more about
You're the
yourself.
threshold. You're the threshold.
I've always felt that way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me too. It's like, well, you're with me, so you can't be that fucking.
Yeah.
I want
You've settled for this, so obviously you've been rejected in the good places.
Well, at least here we have the view count, or the fucking.
Oh, they come
with
later. They don't
with
come now.
the lobby count to
Yeah,
prove
This
it.
is grenade
What are we
sex. They don't come
rocking?
right away.
4?
We have a
Thanks for joining us, the 4 people.
Well, I mean,
Thank you.
We're going to be doing something
Your
with Royce
license
later,
was
so
pathetic
that's going
as
to
ours.
his interviews are much better than ours. They do the numbers. With that being said, let me ask you this: is there any part of Thomas Siedle? I know Thomas the actor. I know Thomas the director, the technical. Is there something in the art of film that you still aspire to do that you haven't done?
Something creative.
Well, damn,
I'm not
okay.
a very creative person. This
You
is
keep
kind of-
saying that, but you are.
Yeah, and I tell you, there's a lot of we've been doing film now 130 years. There's a lot of film out there. There's a lot of these ideas already been put to print.
I feel like
And,
I feel like more films
what
have
I
been
find-
released in the past 2 years and in the 100 years that preceded it.
Exactly right. There's been more film produced in the last 2 years than all film making combined. Right?
Do you get any joy out helping the younger generation of the kids or the people who are novice?
Fuck no. You know why?
Yes.
You know, I used to have like just these knockdown, drag out fights with Miles Hughes, brilliant screenwriter,
Mhm.
brilliant kind of film.
Gorehound, right?
Yeah, Gorehound, but his award
Coming
winning,
soon.
his award winning, his award winning film American Exorcist
Can't hit
that
that.
he directed. It was just fucking great. And we butt heads, man. And I think it's because I saw so much of myself in him.
Yeah.
Like I hated it. I couldn't stand to look at it. And
That's
I don't know, man. And I look back at that shit and I regret it now. And because no, man, fresh filmmakers are a pain in the ass.
they're so naive. They're so bushy tailed. They're like, oh,
But David, even you
this
said
is gonna
this.
go all the way.
But Dave, remember you said this when
We can do it.
remember we talked about this, David. Even you said this when you made your first film. You thought it was the best thing in the world, and you realized later on it wasn't, and you had to learn.
Yeah, no, I will say there is something like when you get to our age and we've been disillusioned,
Yes.
and there is something like I think Jay Palmer is on the right track. You see him gravitating towards the younger filmmakers, and I think that's going to extend his shelf life because there is being around that kind of energy before you've been burned so much and yada yada yada, and you're still like you got the whole world in front of you. Like let them believe that and kind of suck that energy from them like a vampire.
Well,
and
I
use
tell
it
you
to
what.
keep yourself going for another 10 years.
You don't know anything if you can't teach it, right? I can't
I like
teach
that.
it yet. Jay Palmer's to the point where he feels like he's, and you know what? In martial arts, they use teaching as a way to learn certain blocks of information. So he might just be going through a learning phase right now where he's trying to teach other people what he knows. 'Cause when you start to teach it, you realize how stupid you are.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck, why do I do this again?
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
we put the boom on the top of the stand instead of under the stand, right? Or under the knuckle? Why do we oversling a boom rather than undersling a boom on a
Biggest
on a
lesson
knuckle?
learned from the film Threshold.
Like honestly, why do we do it? It was like, so when you have to teach somebody, you have to have an explanation for everything.
Yeah.
If
I
you're
don't-
not a
'cause I don't know.
liar, you know, I'm a pretty good liar. I just lie about
I
shit
mean, I
all
know
the time.
why, but
I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories, right? But I don't know why.
I mean, I
In
do.
fact, I have to go
Well,
look
let's-
up.
it's not, man, we don't have to do. We talked about this before: the cardioid patterns, directional mics, and again, how the mic picks up the frequency or how you're speaking, depending on one person, the background, what room we're in, acoustic treating. But that's the
That
beautiful
sounds
part.
good, but I don't know.
But no,
what
but
it
it's the
means.
truth though. But my point is, I know this, and Thomas may know something I don't know, and you may know something he doesn't know. When we get together, that's how art gets created. So what I want to ask you this: what's one thing you take away from the film Threshold that you did? Just one. If you just take one thing away from it that you've learned.
I stood
what
my
was it?
ground. I stood my ground with Justin Mann, which was an imposing. And he might, Justin, you might not know this, man, but you're an imposing individual. I respect you a lot. I really look up to you. You take risks that I can't take. You come up with ideas that I just don't think of. And when you wanted to shoot the door on the other side of the house, you want to shoot the door on the other side of the house because he said the lighting was better. And I just vetoed him, just shut him down as hard as I could, you know, because he's good. He's persistent if he wants something. And I figured if I just shut him down real hard and it just like made it impossible for him to undo it,
Yeah.
you know, like just unloaded the door
I've
over
gotta
there.
mean
Unload the
this.
door over there.
So wait a minute, but y'all
I've
did
gotta
both,
mean
didn't
this
you
like
guys?
I
No,
never
we did
meant
it on one
something
side of the
before.
house and
Your side,
my
yes.
side of the house. Yeah.
I mean, you won, so I
And
mean,
when he set the camera up, man, it's so vindicating. And when he set the camera up, he looked over at me. He's like, "Oh yeah."
that's where the trust comes
Yeah.
in, right?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
You're still the man, though.
Yeah.
You're still the man, though, Justin, man.
Well, he found that shot. I couldn't.
What's next for Tommy Siedle, man?
We're doing
Oh,
Port City.
Port
We're
City,
trying to
yeah.
get to Port City. So we, I think, as part of winning the script competition, we were.
You're giving him so
infused-
much anxiety every time you open that box of cigarettes.
It's
Just
a
say-
garage. Let me
You
smoke
can
in
do
your
everything
fucking
in here except
garage.
nicotine. I mean, you can pull out meth as far as I care.
Let
I
me
just can't-
smoke in your garage. Close that door and let me smoke in your
You
garage.
sound like
We'll
Rick
even-
Boys.
You're like my aunt. Now
Listen.
she smokes in your garage. Look.
If he doesn't smoke in here, nobody can.
I am smoking.
Yeah, vape.
Oh yeah, let me get one. Of
Yeah,
those.
you can have
yeah,
some
that one,
nicotine.
other blue one.
Oh, yeah, this one. This
That's
one's
the
other
happy
stuff.
one. There we go. But no, I was
Oh,
asking
there's a
about
little
you.
bit of heroin. It's one of those- it's one
Now,
of those heroin
since
babies.
we're still here, I want to bring up something really quick. If you guys don't know,
You already talked. What was your question? You already asked me.
Well, I
What's
know.
next? Port
I was
City.
asking for what's next.
Oh,
for
that's
Tommy
right.
Siedle.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but what are your plans with Port City? It won at the festival, the screenplay, or what's your plans for it going forward?
I'm not the director. I have no idea.
What are you?
No, I'm kidding. So Jaron and I are kind of trying to tag. He
Is
likes
Jaron
to
still
do.
directing?
So one of the things you're talking about kids and like youthful energy and that sort of thing. Jaron has that. That's why I think I'm not bringing on, because I think it's the duty of people, especially old men like us. If we know, if you know anything, it's the duty of wise people.
You gotta stop saying duty, man. I'm sorry.
It is dutiful. It is duty all over your butt cheeks if you take on apprentices, people who need to learn something, and teach them for free and show them what you know, because otherwise the knowledge is lost. That's what we're running into now with this whole gatekeeper fucking society that we had for 50 years since JFK was killed. This whole, let's keep everything.
The film was edited.
It was. George H.W. Bush was in
JFK
Dallas that
shot
day.
first.
George H.W. Bush was in Dallas that day.
I believe that.
Dude,
but no, you.
And he says he can't remember where he was when he says he can't remember where he was when Kennedy was killed.
To your point,
Kennedy was murdered. RFK's uncle was, RFK's father was murdered. He'll tell you all about it. Just watch a video on that.
YouTube's like,
stop believing bullshit.
YouTube's like, we need the flat. Actually, never mind.
And Earth is flat.
But I'm saying whatever he's talking about, the Y files has already talked about it, so we're safe.
I love the Y files.
I love the Y
He's
files
so
too.
great.
Yeah, see, there we go.
You want to talk about a successful filmmaker doing something that makes money right now? That guy that does the Y files, an underserved area of the internet about all these
He sent them to me with the moon conversation.
Doing the really great, thorough. The best investigative reporter on television right now is the Y files.
Next to Coffee Siedle.
Okay, yeah.
Let me know. But with that, I was going to ask you this as well. Again, we asked what you were going to be doing next and things of that nature. You told us about that. Well, let me ask this as far as this.
Oh no, so Port City. So we picked up, I think, as part of winning the script contest in the pitch contest, we picked up an offer for $20,000 to help fund our film from Spotlight International Film Festival.
Congratulations!
Thanks again to Jessica Roscoe. Thank you. 10% or $10,000 is dedicated to post production work, and then $10,000 will be released after the film is roughed to repay production work. So it's not just free money. They're going to watch their money very closely, and once again they're taking an interest in their filmmakers and kind of showing them right and wrongs along the way. We also picked up an amazing line producer named Anthony Short, which is really teaching us a lot about the process going forward. He seems really confident that we could find a buyer once the film is finished.
As a producer, he should really go by Tony Short.
Tony Short?
Yeah, it's got like a Martin Short. How do you get that money, Tony Short? You don't want to know.
I don't.
That's a Get Short reference.
I don't know. That's just my brain.
I don't know where he's going with this really quick, but I did want to bring up two things that combine that you brought up earlier, which was number one, you talked about the gatekeepers most recently, but then before that,
they're all dead. They stole all the money and left.
I believe that, but there's also gatekeepers of knowledge, and I'm just talking about with the film industry. And you mentioned this earlier before, not just the gatekeepers that's one thing that you aspire to, you just don't have that craft just yet. So I'm just happy that at least you're leaning towards not being someone that's going to just keep all the knowledge for themselves, but wants to learn how to convey it to others.
I'd love to, man, but that's another thing. I'm still in the phase that I'm not sure that I know what I'm doing, and I'm sure that the bigger guys are laughing at me, especially as a gaffer or a key grip. I've had those titles on sets before, but Jesus Christ, I don't know how to build a fly swatter or hang a truss in the ceiling. You know what I mean? So it's like people, I don't know how to do that.
You know why everybody's name is on that list?
People are so much better than me.
Check this out. You know why everybody's name on that list and credits? Because nobody knows how to do everything. Nobody wants to do everything. That's why so many people's name on the list.
But I tell you, I'm glad I spent the time I did as trying to light films and stuff like that. And now with Port City trying to DP a film, I've DP'd before, but this would be a first feature that I've tried to carry. So the amount of faith that Anthony has. Are you
AD in that, or what are you directing?
No, I'm the director of photography.
I was gonna say the AD and the DP sometimes are doing more work than the director, and it's like what he said. The director just wants to work with the actors, but there's all this other stuff going on.
It's a lot of work. Everyone needs to hold the shoulder, and I tell you, the only thing that's bad on a film set is someone who's not pulling their weight. And that's
again, brother, you're right about that.
That's
you need to rush them out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I tell you, and that's what made Threshold so successful.
I can't
Everyone
believe
on that set was lifting as hard as they could. Yeah. And
you could see it in that behind the scenes.
But Jaren's really good. He's a great producer. He builds a team correctly.
Yeah, Jaren. But we're talking about the other J-Man.
Yeah, you're hard on the end on that one.
Yes. So let me ask you this. You got, I do want to talk about something since we have you here before we forget to say about it. You got something coming up at the LOL, don't you?
No, we're not involved with that at all.
No, you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Who, me?
Your house.
No,
Because we did something pretty nasty in your house before.
That
we filmed,
wasn't him.
No, we filmed something nasty in his house before, and it wasn't an orgy. It was called I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday. So who did the nastier stuff in your room? Was it our set or the set of the film you just did insert here?
Didn't someone butt fuck a kid in my room?
I wasn't there that day.
It was a
He hates
dance.
it when I say
it was
that.
a very
That's
choreographed
why.
dance.
That's why I say that.
Royce
in
is
every,
not even Royce like
in
I'm
every
leaving.
That's why I say that in every interview, because he hates it. You see him squirm when I
This
say that.
segment has been brought to you by Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey, recently acquitted.
We're
Yeah.
here for you.
No, actually,
If you can't say it, don't.
no, I'm just trying to remember.
Did you have any
So
trepidation about
okay,
that?
so when I got back, so I left Germany, and my family was broken up. Man, my nephew was taking it hard. Nobody wanted to see me go. It's like they're scared. It's gonna be another 15 years before they see me again. I see them. I'm taking it really, really hard. And like I finally get home, and Jaren's like calls me. He's like, "You home yet?" Like, yeah. Like we lost our location. Can we film at your house? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, you want to direct it? And I'm like, sure. He's like, he gets there. He's like, you want to run camera? I was like,
This is when
wait,
you'll get back. No, this is when you'll get back.
sure, yeah.
So an award-winning director of the International 48-Hour Film Festival gets back home. You want to run camera? You want to direct? Like, and that's the reality of filmmaking, kids. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome home. Here, run this camera real quick. And so we just did it. We just kind of goofed off. And the next day, I think we did one more shooting day after that, because there's a lot of unusable shit in that first day, because it was just, yeah.
That insert here came out really good. You
It
guys did a great job on that.
It
But
did.
I want to know about the on Pete, how they got you in those shorts. What dirt?
They say he showed up like
Because
that.
I know I blurred you, had you obscured by water, and I know the shit that I took. You
sick son of a bitch. You had this
came out-
man naked 6 feet under the sea.
I would argue
under the deep.
that I'm
Under
Pete
the
was
deep.
more sexual. Was far
Nah,
more sexually
nah.
explicit.
Well, I was pretty lucky when I was dealt the hand of fetishes, and I think I have a very mild exhibitionist sort of vibe
You
in
got the
me.
legs for it.
I don't mind showing off my body. There's certain things I won't do on set or on screen. I won't kiss anyone. I won't.
Will you allow
You're
yourself to be
getting-
betrayed by a black man? You
sound
already
like,
did it.
You sound like you have the same. You sound like that. There is.
Bro, I
literally-
hang dong, bro.
There's literally
I hang
no.
dong right now.
There is no difference between an actor and a prostitute, and your statement right there just saw everything that you just said could have been a prostitute talking. I don't mind showing off my body. I'm not gonna kiss anybody. Only.
A stingy prostitute.
Where are you not a hooker and an actor?
JT Hooker. You too.
Well, actors are hookers. First of all,
Oh, okay, all right.
A bunch of whores.
If you're an actor right now out there in TV land, you're watching this and you think you're not a prostitute, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're an actor, imagine that you've got a 7-day crack bender going and you just need this $20 for this last hit. You make that drive, you do that role, you get the accolades, you meet people. Because I'm telling you, man, you don't know. Actors, being successful acting is a little different than being successful in the craft.
Kano Williams. Did I miss the episode movie review about the one Tyrone that was cloned? No, I haven't done that yet, but thank you for your support. We're hey, this is
Nice.
I used to work with this guy in the call center, and we both are no longer in the call centers and living our lives.
I wanna see
shout
that.
out Kano. You should watch it. I'm gonna do a review on that.
Yeah, I want to see that. It
Hey,
looks
Kano.
good as hell.
Give me a call, man. The number's still the same.
Is that who's the producer on that one?
I have no idea, but I do
Netflix.
know that here's the thing that I'm not going to go into my full review on that, but please watch that film because it
Is
is.
that Jordan Peele on there?
You would think so. I'm glad you said
Yeah,
that because
that's
there's
what
a
I thought,
connection
yeah.
between us and Nope and that.
No, I'm talking about they cloned
Yes.
Tyrone. Is that
Yeah.
is that Jordan Peele in there?
No, I'm just saying
Oh.
it's not. But you're
I don't
saying
know.
that
Oh,
because
okay.
there is it
Yeah,
leans
much
into
more.
that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't.
You would love it. You would love it. But with that
Anyway,
being said, Tommy, anything you
Cam,
want?
I want to know
Go.
too. I want to ask too, about Cam's. What was your? I know you talked about the Japanese guy. The film connected with him, and that being an awesome moment.
And I connected with a bunch of films, which is dope.
That's what I was gonna ask. What was your biggest takeaway?
I think the Guadalajara film, or I think it was the Mexico film, really talked to me, man. Their choice of just their location, their cinematography, the production design, the acting, just sold me on it all, and it's just a really good film. If you haven't seen the winning films from 48, go watch them right now. They're on the 48 website. So a lot spoke to me too. What else was it? Oh, and just the people, man. I just met some dope ass people. So basically, all these filmmakers take over this tiny French Riviera in town for 3 weeks,
So you can be having breakfast at
and
a
it's,
cafe.
dude, they're all just filmmakers. So everyone's very like-minded, you know, and it's just very
just a
much.
bunch of pretentious assholes
Just
taking
a
up the town
bunch
like
of
this shot
narcissistic-
over here, me and me.
Everyone's trying to act rich. It's just great.
Oh god,
What's
It's
going on?
just
Why are you so
great.
giddy?
Oh, dude, because I hate people like myself.
I know, yeah.
So, like, that's what I want to do is just go hang out with a bunch of me's for a week. Fuck that, man. I'll stay home. Nah, I'm sorry. I don't like myself that much.
And there is an error. There is still kind of, because it's an industry convention. So just like at an air conditioning industry convention in the lower southeast regional air conditioner sales conference, 93rd annual.
Yeah,
You
that's what
know.
I'm talking about.
Fucking someone's gonna fact check me on a 93rd. It's only been around for 62 years, and you know what I mean. And so there's this kind of air of desperation also, and it's just everyone's very nervous. You can tell the old heads, they're just there on vacation.
Do people?
You know, they don't
gamble at
want to talk to
festivals?
you yet. As far as like what film's gonna win and stuff, I don't know.
I would. Let me ask you this.
I would have thought you would have found that circle and got in on that.
Next
Would
year,
you-
baby.
Uh,
Now I know what to look
yeah,
for.
I wasn't integrated enough.
Yeah.
Would you want to win a Grammy for an actor, director, or producer, or writer?
Me?
If you could choose, yes, you.
If I could win a Grammy as a writer, I would love to win a Grammy as a writer. That means I wrote a song that connected with millions and millions of people. Like that to me was and writing is it's a craft that's being lost as we speak.
Especially
You said I'm sorry.
Grammy. I said Grammy.
Yeah, you said something about the people withholding knowledge anymore.
Yes,
They're done
thank you.
withholding it. It's gone. They're dead.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone. The knowledge is gone. We'll never get it back.
I don't think it's wrong.
yeah.
I mean, like you said with the writing, kids not writing in cursive anymore. They're not learning Roman numerals.
Yeah.
So if you got a will out there, you're not getting that money.
Every
Or
once
you-
in a
Lawyers
while,
get
I'm
money.
like having a bad day, and then I just remember like, oh, George H.W. Bush is dead. All
Yeah.
right.
I wish we could've hung him.
I mean, we came a long way from when Bush got the shoe through us, right?
He was a
Yeah.
traitor who killed JFK.
All right. So we haven't gotten canceled. We've gotten hired by Infowars.com. They need us.
Find us on Rumble next Tuesday.
All right. Anything you want to tell the writers? The
Yeah,
directors?
9/11 was an inside job. God damn it. That's what I want to tell. What are we talking about?
Actually, 9/11.
Yo.
9/11 p.m.
9/11.
That's what he's talking about.
You cannot convince me that those two twin towers are in an interior location. 9/11 was an outside job, and I
Well,
stand by that.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Look.
I'm going to say the moon landing was fake. That's what
No,
I'm going
come on. You don't know. Come on.
Have you been there?
Come on, man.
Why,
Look.
why have we been back? Why have
It's
we
the
been
only
back?
thing that makes sense. Look, they went to the moon, right? There's stuff that went on the moon that we'll talk about later, but they knew that the radiation were going to erase all the fucking film. They did their best to
The radiation belt. I know what you're talking about.
get the
yes.
signal through in the live
Right.
live feed. That's real.
Right.
That's real. But all the fucking pictures and shit that they took on the moon, all them motherfuckers are gone except for a few. And they had to recreate all the
They
other
did
fucking
the
photos.
same
That's-
thing with
I'm
the
thinking that's
nuclear
what- I think that's
test.
what happened.
They did the same thing with the nuclear test for the Russians. The Russians thought we had nuclear power because they showed them footage of us doing nuclear testing, and then one person, a filmmaker, had to come out and say,
I mean,
why the fuck isn't the camera moving then? Everything's being blown away. Is this a trigod?
Yeah.
Why isn't the camera fucking moving if everything's being blown away? See? Gotcha.
They have the sandbags.
Okay, all right. You're sandbagging the story. That's what you're doing. Anything else you want to say, guys?
Yeah, 9/11 was a goddamn
Oh my
inside
God.
job. Why are we fucking throwing shit, man?
Coffee Siedle, hit us
A
up, please.
million Iraqis died.
Oh my God.
Why are we throwing shit around? The motherfucker killed JFK, and then let's just Encyclopedia Brown this out real quick. The motherfucker killed JFK, puts his son in
I'm
office,
trying to act like we froze
does
while y'all
9/11,
Yeah.
like to get the whole fucking world rally around his son. Turns out old Bush and Clinton are real fucking tight. So who planned this shit?
Well, I mean,
Clinton would have
all
had
right,
to
if we're
plan
doing
it.
this. They
Clinton would have had to plan it.
said
I agree.
Clinton and Epstein were tight since we're doing that.
Bruh.
Bruh.
When are people gonna wake up?
I don't know. With that being said, guys, yeah, this show's over.
Dave Chappelle, help me, baby. Help me. I'm out here.
Paul
I'm
Mooney,
trying.
where you at when we need you? Anybody you want to name drop?
No, let's.
Jazz Abramowitz.
Oh, really great. I love
Hey,
working with
hey, Jazz, you
man.
killed it. Definitely killed it, guys. Listen, if this is
Well,
what
so-
you get from TTFT.
Well,
No,
so
go
that's,
ahead.
yeah, we're gonna continue this.
No,
as long as,
off screen because we don't want to get off.
as long as people have. Oh, well, you can't go over an hour.
No,
we
we
can
go.
okay.
But I know
we
you
can
got.
let it
I'm
ride
respecting
for a
another
little
one of our filmmakers' times here.
Oh, we'll get to him.
Oh, remember, I was the one on your side. Damn, I look good when I put my finger out.
No,
there.
you threw.
Jazz
fucking-
Abramowitz,
you
working
did
with him
exactly
is-
what you knew. You
is really
derailed
good.
it.
He's
Me?
No, him.
Oh,
you know what, and you know what Jazz does too. It's just really good as
He's
a
just
film
gonna
actor.
go back to the conversation.
Even when he's just, especially when he's like even when he knows the script really, really well, or he's just improvising, he'll say something and give it a moment. So he gives you these cut points,
Yeah.
right? And he always kind of gives you a look, and he gives you, and sometimes he'll give you a couple of them, but he gives you these cut points that you can get in there and parse out. He's an experienced film actor, man. He's been doing this a long, long time.
He nailed the
you're not
beats.
wrong about that. He won. We can't say what he won, but
And
I
an
really-
experienced stage actor too.
I mean, again, I always say this again. There's people who have it, and there's people who could have it, and the difference is the people who are willing to put in the work ethic, and you gotta follow before you even want to lead anybody. And I love the fact that what you said. Listen, you don't want to give advice. I don't think you're reluctant to give advice. You want to make sure you know what the fuck you're talking about before you tell it to anybody else.
Oh, you know, I'm always a bad advice too. I was with Justin last night, and they renamed Hemming Plaza, and I'm too fucking old and stupid to learn new names and shit. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like, this is James Weldon,
Johnson.
fucking guy. And I was like, what the fuck did he do?
I think he wrote a couple of songs that
Did
we
he buy
didn't
this?
know.
Did he buy
I
this
think
land?
he wrote like the
fucking
Negro
donate
National
this
Anthem.
park?
I can't be
I was like,
sure.
what's
on
wrong
that,
with
though.
Hemming? And he's like, no, he wrote
The
Lift
Negro
Every Voice.
National Anthem.
No, he said Lift
That's
Every Voice
we're talking about the same
and
song.
sing.
Yes, that's the same song.
Don't-
you
don't
just can't
get-
call it that. I can't, but it's the same song. It's Lift Every Voice and Sing. He wrote it, and it's a
Yeah,
school
but
here.
why are we gonna name a park after some dude
Well,
that
no,
was
the whole
involved
time-
with the Twin Towers?
Well, the whole time I was
I
talking
don't
to him,
know.
well, first of all, I thought that was written by a woman. All right, that's number one.
Peace.
Number two, I kept saying lift every voice and pray.
That sounds nothing like singing.
Anyway, it's
Yeah,
a long
yeah.
story back in Mississippi. Anyway,
Oh God, no, I don't want to hear more about that.
no, it's just the last verse. There's something with the last verse. People in church used to say lift every voice and pray. And anyway, and yeah, well, you know where that came from, man? The Black National Anthem. See, these
Please tell me.
motherfuckers
Please-
rubbing it in
oh.
everybody's faces.
Where did it come from?
They're making it was derogatory. They called it the Black National Anthem because it was important to black folks. And they're like, they don't
Allegedly.
get our they separate equal. They can have their national anthem. We'll have our national anthem. Goddamn Democrats are saying that shit. And then now they come back and encode it in the law like they did with Juneteenth.
Oh no, they got.
Juneteenth
I
is
think
like
it worked
it's
out.
as bad as the N word, the swastika.
No,
to
I
me.
think it worked out.
It really is that word. It really is. That is
Listen.
horrible word.
I think it worked
They-
out. We had our
We'll just
national
tell them it
anthem.
came on Juneteenth, so they won't know.
No,
they're
I
free.
think it worked out perfectly.
That's what that fucking means, and it's,
Oh, yeah,
it's
there is-
disgusting. Now it's
there is-
coded in law because fucking white liberals think they're saving the world.
You really do need Kanye West over here,
Dude.
No, he doesn't. No, I'm here. I got it.
What he's saying sounds very egregious, but the gist of
It
it
should
is
be.
very true.
No, I get the
Emancipation
gist.
Day.
I'm just adding to the gist, which
I'm
is
glad
he is right.
Emancipation
Which
Day
is that if
a
we had,
fucking
as
holiday,
I mean, we had a national anthem, and then to what he's saying that hey, they felt that they needed one as well. Here's the crazy part about it.
We
Well,
have a national anthem.
Oh no, because guess what? We were in slavery, and guess what? Now we're all in slavery. It's
I'll
just
never
a different
forgive-
kind.
I'll
It's
never-
just a different fucking kind.
I'll never
man.
forgive John Adams for the Alien Sedition Act. You're absolutely right. Alien Sedition Act 1811. I'll never forgive him for it. It was disgusting.
And I'll
what he
never
did.
forgive Abraham Lincoln.
He
for getting
extended
snuffed out by a
the
gun
years
that
of
you had to
slavery in this
fucking put
country by
powder
40
in and
years,
shit
man.
like that.
It could have been over in 1800, but he fucking kept it going. That son of a bitch. And those.
And if I don't say anything else before this
John
episode is
I
over,
think so. John Adams and his party.
Nobody's boycotting his
Hamilton.
beer.
Hamilton,
wanna say this.
fucking
if I don't say anything else before this episode
Hamilton
is
and his
over,
ilk.
kids,
I
no
didn't
matter
know.
what you want to do with your life making a film, you can make whatever you want. You know why?
Are you putting a cap
Because
on it?
no, not putting a cap on it, because they made Abraham Lincoln, wait for it, Vampire Slayer. Never in a million years would I thought that was a real movie, but they made it and it was actually fucking good. So
Great.
you can do whatever you want with it. Eggs with steak, eggs with lobster.
See, that's why I don't like. I like
Like
staying
what?
down.
Come again?
That's why I like staying down here in filmmaking because like the consequences here, at some level, someday might be millions of dollars. And
Yeah.
yes, life's always at stake, so should we be
Yeah.
careful? But honestly, we're not dealing with life and death here. Like
No.
we're dealing with stories, storytelling.
Mhm.
Like you can what gets me excited is wanting to tell the story right. This politics and worrying about who said what, who's going to jail, they better all hang, number one.
Thank you, yes.
But who's going to jail or whatever, that's all just distraction. It just takes your energy away. You put your energy into something fruitful, like growing a garden or making a film or fixing a car or doing something cool, and not worry about what these idiots do. Get to know your neighbor, get to understand one another and love each other and help each other. These people would collapse and they would be no more. There would be no war. There would be no 9/11s. There would be no fucking central bank collapsing.
I truly say this before we go. At least this will be my last comment. I'll say this. Is that I don't think people have ever looked at it this way. And I'm only talking about actors because me and you personally have talked about it before. As a child, I used to always say, wrestling's fake, this, that, and the other. And to a certain extent, it is fake, the same way we play make-believe. But at the same time, those men put their body on the line. And so a lot of times people don't understand this, that when we get into certain roles, not all roles, but certain roles, it mentally takes something away from you. And it's hard to get back sometime. And so people have to understand this. Yeah, we're playing make-believe, but everybody doesn't come back.
Right.
And you have to actually be almost broken to come back, because it's serious, man. So I think sometimes people say, well, what's wrong with this person? What's wrong with Ezra Miller? What's wrong with this person? What's wrong with that person? But my point is this: you don't with that movie. Remember the movie? We need to talk about Kevin. We don't know what that did to him. The same way a football player can get CTE. When we keep doing roles and roles, which is why I told you can't write any more serial killer roles for my daughter. That was it. She's maxed out.
And you have to, what you think about, you bring about. There is a truth to that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I'm going to try to play with in Port City as a DP is how the concussions, Ryan's concussions, actually affect what he's receiving, what he's actually processing, what he's thinking about, what he's seeing, what he's hearing, and stuff like that, and really have some fun with that as it kind of devolves from this typical hero fight film into a psychological and emotional thriller or emotional torture.
Those are my favorite, though. Those thrillers, those are my favorite.
You and Jaron are directing Port City, right? That's
Jaron's the director. I'm the DP. We'll kind of be tag teaming it.
Do you have a plan in mind as far as when you would like to start shooting?
Well, I've been working toward a plan of October this entire time. But it looks like as we get closer, it's going to look like January, February 2024.
Okay.
If anybody's out there is looking for Thomas Siedle, again, he just got back from Cannes. He has insert here. He has Port City. He has I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday. He has Threshold, and let's not forget he has Manson fucking Lane.
Oh yeah.
Let's not forget. Let's just figure it out to begin with.
Let's look up Manson Lane, everyone.
Be careful.
Everyone, get on your computers now. Look up Manson Lane. Enjoy a little blast from the past while the boys go to the bathroom.
We're privileged, man, to even have you here, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dude, congratulations on
seriously, yes.
Like, I was so happy to see you get the award.
You should have gotten an Oscar.
Like, to come back from Threshold and then turn around and get the award from Port City. That must be so. I know for somebody like you who's always beating yourself up internally, that's got to at least take a few of those punches away for a minute.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that Jaron and I wrote the script for Port City. It's thank you.
I'm excited. That's a
story by Ryan McVeigh, and that was a really enjoyable process. I didn't expect it to be that enjoyable for me. 8 hours a day, every day. I sat down and I wrote along the lines of a script that Ryan McVeigh had written as a kind of a parallel, and trying to lay that theme into a completely different storyline. And that was very enjoyable to me. And I really enjoyed that. So I'm talking to someone else about adapting a film or a book for film about an old rock star. And it was very enjoyable to me. So I think it's something I'd like to do again. Yeah. It's a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of killing your babies. And
this will be your first feature, right?
Yeah.
Are you nervous at all?
Oh, horribly, especially
like compared to Kill, like being like carrying.
There's no money in Kill.
Yeah,
nothing was at stake.
So except our time. True. You got money on the line with this already.
Yeah. So if someone gives me money now, I feel really.
That's what I'm saying.
I still feel weird carrying $20 from the car into the store to get someone like a pack of cigarettes or something. I still feel like a kid.
Yeah.
And I come out of the store and I pull the money out too early, drop all the coins, try to open the door handle, hit my head, start crying. Let's feel like a kid again. I'm 40 years old. It's like that's what happened. Like shit, like it really happens. Just like it can. It really happened with like trying to talk to someone who I thought at the moment was important. I get all tongue tied and fucking. It's stupid and embarrassing. And I think if you just keep going, right? You keep working on what you're doing, like what you're doing here with this. You're learning more every time you do this show. The point isn't TTFT to be fucking massive hit now. The point is of it to be a massive hit 500 episodes from now. Mm-hmm. So people have a fucking huge catalog that they can go back and watch your growth because this is what interests humans.
Doing things that give you an excuse to connect with people, and because I wouldn't otherwise. So to this, like perfect example, it put us in touch with Lila Robbins to interview her, and now she's in our movie. That's like you get making relationships is the biggest thing for me.
And we actually know her versus her going to someone else's set doing the shit and leaving.
I do, we have definitely. It has been. That's the great thing about YouTube. You watch people grow in real time, and everything is out there for you to see. The way they advance what they're doing, and you
can only do two things: you watch them grow, or you watch them go.
Yeah, or watch them blow. Oh no, that's Pornhub. I always get this.
Or that's insert here.
It's always one of
directed by Thomas Siedle.
Not me. No, I was just DP, man. I wasn't even on set. I was just. That was my bed.
Is that the one with the gimp mask? And with that being said, TTFT, Davis, take us out.
Dude, you guys stop saying with that being said. I want to talk to you about that.
I mean, we're not on camera. Not on camera.
God damn it, baby.
Hey, no, God damn it, baby. It's successful failure.
God damn it, baby. Used to be his.
That was my line.
Guys, Thomas, thank you so much.
Thomas effing Siedle.
Go check out Manson Lane.
Go check out Manson Lane.
Yeah.
And this show is still not sponsored by Blue Moon.
This has been the Joe Rogan Experience. Thank you very much for watching, and have an excellent rest of your week.
Peace, love, soul. Don't forget to have your spade and neuter.
If you're in Jacksonville, which I'm sure you are, if you're one of the 3 people watching this, we'll see you on the 5th and 6th at the LOL.
And here's that Janet Jackson.
Hey, love one another. Embrace your differences. Don't start fighting over dumb shit.
And the film was edited.
Love one another and let people have their freedom of stupidity. If you think it's stupid, don't go shutting them down or being
violent. Great job, man.
Yeah. Love one another, help one another.
Voice on the sound.
Don't mess with them kids.
Yeah, leave the kids alone, man.